Now that I'm done with this, I'm going to delete that rectangle from my card 5 because I don't need that. Card number 6, I don't need a rectangle. I can use the photo as a guide for lining up the card art. So copy everything, Command A, select all, or drag across and get all, Command C, copy. And then I need a document like this one I already set up, but let's do it again from scratch, which is Command N, new document. For print, the size will be in inches, 2 cards wide, which is 7 inches, plus a 1/4 inch for the 2 1/8 inch bleeds that are in the center of the card. And the height will be 8 inches for the 4 cards, 4 times 2, 8, and 3/4 of an inch for the 3 spaces in between those cards, which each would have an 1/8 of an inch bleed. Margins, again, are 3/16 of an inch, 3/16 on all 4 sides. Bleed and slug. Bleed area. Bleed is the industry standard 1/8 of an inch. Slug area is 3/8 of an inch. And again, that's on all 4 sides, so I'll click that little link symbol. Create. Should look like that. Once again, going to my master page first. And once again, I forgot to uncheck facing pages, and once again I'll have to delete this extra master. Going to my master page, highlight in blue here says A master, down at the bottom says I'm on the A master. I don't put a guideline down the middle of the page. I need a guideline again at 3.5 inches. I need a second guideline 1/4 inch to the right of that at 3.75. And actually, I'm holding my shift key and it snaps to the 3.75. So this is the right edge of my left column card. This is the left edge of my right column card. I'll need a guide at 2 inches. I'll hold the shift key and see if that'll snap to 2 inches. I think it did. Yes, it did. The next trim is the top of the next card, so that's 1/4 inch down because we have 2/8 of an inch bleeds in between. Once I have the 2 of those, I can select them both, Command Option U or Control Alt U on Windows. I need 2 more sets of those, and they are stepped at 2 1/4 inches because we have to skip the first 2 inches and that 1/4 inch bleed to get down to the next one, so that this space in here is 3.5 by 2 inches. That's all I need in guides. Now I need trim marks, and I'll set those up just the same as the last ones. The color is registration color for the stroke. There is no fill. It will be 1/2 point thick. I'll start just outside the edge of the page. Hold the shift key to constrain and stop when I get to the slug guide. I need another one right here, or I could just Command Option U, step this vertically at 1/4 of an inch just to make sure I'm correct. I don't need quite that many, just one of them. And then select these 2, Command Option U, make 2 more sets of these, stepped at 2 1/4 inches. That looks correct. Check my slug preview. That looks correct. And I need these over on the other side as well, so I'll grab all 6 of them, start dragging, hold the shift key to constrain, and when I get to the other slug guide, I'll hold the Alt key to duplicate it, still holding the shift key and the Alt key, let go of the mouse button, Alt or Option, and make sure that that's based on my right reference point. Should be about there, 7.625 inches to the right side of that. For this card, or this set of cards, I can't use the registration mark as a trim mark because we're not trimming right down the middle. We are trimming here at 3.5 inches. This is still registration color, and it's still 1/2 point thick. I could drag this over here, hold the shift to constrain, hold the Alt key, let go of the mouse button, and then I could Command C copy these and go down to the bottom, Command V paste, and snap these to the guides, both my center guides and my slug guide. Based on my center reference point, that should be at 3.625 inches. This one down here, center reference point, 3.625 inches. And that's it. That's all I need on the master pages. Going back to page 1, Turn on slug preview and make sure I have all the marks I think I have. Note that on page 1 I can't accidentally grab anything. Going back to my 7A document on page 5, Command A, select all, or drag the cursor over all the objects. Say for just Command A, select all. Command C, copy. Go to my new 8up document, Command V, paste. And you're probably wondering why we don't use Command Option Shift V. Well, that's because that would drop it into the same place as it was on the other. Isn't where you think it is. Command Option Shift V, it still drops it in the middle because the position on this card is the middle of this page. So it drops into the middle of this page. So you don't really need Command Option Shift V. Command V will do the same thing. Once it's there, I make sure that the group of them is snapped to the bleed line. Now that my first card is correctly positioned, Command Option U or Control Alt U, and I need 3 more of these stepped 2 1/4 inches vertically, and you can see why I want it 0 horizontally. Note that the images exactly butt up against each other because they are 1/8 of an inch bleeds, and we have allowed a 1/4 inch space between all the cards. At the bottom, since I have a 3/16 of an inch guide, the same as I had on my 7A card number 6, the last text frame exactly meets that bottom margin guide. There are 4 names of sales representatives provided. I'm going to delete these. I would probably change the title to sales representative. Before stepping them. Command Option U. Repeat 3 more times, not as grid, vertically 2 1/4 inches, and then you don't have to type sales representative every time, but there are 4 sales representatives names that you have to put in here. Once you have those 4 names put in, Command Option U or Control Alt U on Windows, and step this once 0 vertically and 3.75 inches across. Again, 3.5 inches for the width of the card and a 1/4 inch to jump over that gutter we put down the middle. And these should have the 1/8 of an inch bleed at the top and into our gutter, so the left edge of this card is exactly at the center of the 8up layout. And that's all there is to that one. Command Shift S, save this as your last name, DL7C, and then export it as a PDF, your last name DL7C. Again, we'll use the commercial print standard PDFX1A 2001. It says modified because it remembers that the last thing I did was to export this with marks and bleeds, use document settings, and include slug area. Export, and here's my 8up. Checking once again. I lost a logo somehow. Command U, step and repeat 1 time at 3.75 inches. Command S, save. Command E, export. Your last name DL7C already exists. That's okay. Overwrite it. Marks and bleeds. Use document bleed setting. Include slug area. Export. And there it is with everything it's supposed to have. And I'll just check one more time. Tools. Print production. Got all my logos. Output preview. My registration marks and my trim marks are all in registration color. My logo is a process matched 186. And everything is there. And that's the end of DL7B and its other component, DL7C.